Good morning, everyone. I can see around 54 students have arrived. So I think we can start our session. You can just respond in chat if you are able to hear. What about now? Is it clear? Okay. I hope others also are able to hear my voice. If any problem, you can just respond in chat. So we were at this position yesterday. It's like when I get into Tinkercad, you are going to have something like this. Someone say no. What about now? You are able to hear? Everyone, you can just respond if you are able to hear. You can click yes. I see only one yes. I think it will be better now. Okay. So we stopped yesterday by just creating some LED and making it glow with Arduino. Today we'll resume and we will see how I can generate code for that one. Okay, I just logged into Tinkercad and you will be able to see something like this. Now I just need to open my existing circuit. So I'll click this, and when I go to this particular thing, you can see here like it shows Tinker this. Okay, I'm just clicking this Tinker this. Okay, so this is what we have seen yesterday. Like I'm just starting my simulation again. This is the circuit which we have come up with yesterday, and I'll just click on start simulation. We'll see what happens. You can see that LED is blinking, and you can see timing over here. After 1 second we will see what happens. I think in the code we have written 2 seconds. Let me check. Okay, so for 2 seconds it has to be on. After that it will be off. Okay, we'll see if it happens or not. Okay, now it is off. uh, just a minute. Ani, Ani, Ani. లేదు. ఏమో చూడు, తీసుకో, ఫోన్ అయితే తీసుకో పట్టు. Okay, now I would like to see what is the code generated for this one. Okay, so let me click on this code again. After stopping I'll do stop simulation. As you can see here, we have some options over here. Let me go and see what are the options we have. We have something called as text, we have something called as blocks, we have something called as blocks plus text. So when I click on blocks, you are going to have this particular code in the form of blocks. If I click on text, you are going to have your code in the form of text. If I click on blocks plus text, you are going to get something like this. Okay, so people, if you have any idea of Arduino, maybe you might have seen this kind of code in that one. Okay, basically in Arduino we will write code in this particular form. You are going to have two modules. One is void setup, the other one is void loop. In void setup you are going to initialize the things like what should be a particular pin, whether it should be input mode or output mode, etc., and what are the pins we are considering, initialization of LCD, etc., and whatever the operations we want to do on those pins, that we are going to give over here in void loop. Whatever you write in void loop, uh, it's going to repeat forever. Okay, so did I write code here? Automatically we generated code just by dragging these things and dropping over here. Let me see by removing anything what happens. See here, I am trying to remove this one. Automatically the corresponding code has been removed. Okay, so that's how I can just create a code by just dragging these particular blocks and dropping over here. Okay, you can just respond if this particular part is clear. You can just respond yes, or if you want me to repeat. If it is clear, you can just respond yes. Okay, I'll just repeat. So to get this particular text form, what I have done is I went to this particular code. Okay, in that code I have two options. One is blocks plus text, other one is blocks, other one is text. When I click on blocks, you are going to have code in the form of blocks itself. When I click on text, you are going to have your information. Okay, I don't want to edit that one because we feel like If you are not having any knowledge of code, then it's better you consider blocks plus text. Okay, for example, I am making this one duplicate. Okay, and trying to attach over here. This one I don't want, the last one I am removing. So I did not write any code over here, but automatically when I replace this one, automatically it's coming. For example, let me try dragging something and see if it comes. I am dragging this particular module. Okay, I am trying to drop over here. See, set built-in LED to high. Automatically I got that corresponding code. Okay, so is there any difficulty in this one? I hope you won't find any kind of difficulty to do this particular part of the thing. Okay, so we'll move to next programs. So we just have done like come up with Arduino, connect an LED to that one, and try to write code. And whatever the code we have, you can just select this particular code. Okay, and copy and paste in your Arduino environment. Okay, we are not talking about Arduino environment as of now. We are just looking at how I can use Tinkercad to work with Arduino. Okay, we'll go for next experiment. So this particular part, LED part, we have done. Okay, next we will get into potentiometer. So as you all know, potentiometer uh, it will be something like this. You are going to have a particular knob. I can just show that one. As you can see here, we have a knob. Like that, you are going to have a knob. By varying this knob position, the resistance will be varying. Okay, so this is the general circuit how we are going to connect a potentiometer. I have some voltage over here. For potentiometer, you are going to have basically three pins. Okay, if I consider this as my part, you are going to have in varieties of ways, like 1k part will be there, 10k part will be there. Okay, 1 mega ohm part will be there. When I say 1k part, uh, the resistance, sum of these two resistance will be 1k. When I say 10k resistance, sum of these two resistances will be 10k. If I say 1 mega, the sum of two resistances will be in the range of 1 mega. So by varying the knob, we are trying to change the values of R1 and R2. Basically R1 will be available between these two, R2 will be available between these two. So if I have to connect this one to my power supply, what we will do is outer pins we will be connecting to power supply like I have shown here. This is one point, this is another terminal where I have, this is the third terminal. So first and third terminal we are connecting to supply voltage, and from the third pin we are trying to take output. Okay, it's like this particular voltage is proportional to how much amount of resistance we have from this particular second terminal to third terminal. The voltage V out I can calculate by using this formula. V out equals to VCC multiplied with the resistance R2 by total resistance, that is R2 plus R1. Have you seen this kind of circuit anywhere? Maybe in your EDC. We call this circuit with some name. Maybe you can just respond in chat if you know what is that name. We use this for some kind of purpose. Even in uh, your EDC with respect to BJT and FET, you might have used this one. Maybe if someone knows, you can just respond what is that circuit. For stability you are going to use, no idea? Okay, let me give clue. we call it as sum divider. What is the divider? Anyone? Any guesses? Yeah, someone, Kaumudi. Okay, she responded voltage divider. Yes, it's correct. So basically, this circuit we consider as voltage divider circuit, because whatever the voltage we have here, that we are dividing. For example, let us consider I have 12 volts battery. Okay, I have 12 volts battery, but uh, for my circuit I just need 8 volts. Do you have any battery which can generate 8 volts? You won't find such case. You will find either 1.5 volts, 3 volts, 9 volts, 12 volts. Okay, like that you are going to have batteries. So if I need something like 8 volts, how I can generate from 12 volts? It's like I will give 12 volts here. Okay, maybe I can do here 1 volt here. Sorry, this is 1 ohm, or maybe 1 kilo ohm, because if you think 1 ohm is not available, you can go with 1 kilo ohm. This is 2 kilo ohm. In such case, what will be the voltage I will get as V output? V output will be 12 into 2 by 2 plus 1, so I will get 8 volts. So like that, wherever you want these kind of resistance, these kind of voltages, then you can go with this potentiometer, or you can also have a voltage divider circuit. Instead of having potentiometer, I can separately consider a resistance R1, I can separately consider a resistance R2. Like that also I can consider. Okay, so that is just a small introduction about potentiometer. Now we will see how we need to connect this one with Arduino. As you can see, one particular pin of this potentiometer I have connected to this positive terminal, and the third pin I have connected to ground. The middle pin I am taking and I am connecting it to A0, that is analog point. So what this particular thing will output, it will consider the voltage 5 volts. By varying the knob of this particular potentiometer, I am going to get corresponding output voltage here, A0. And to calculate that particular A0, I can use this particular V out formula. Okay, so I have given that as input, and what I want to do is I'll measure this potentiometer value. I'll write some condition. If that condition is matching, then I need to switch on this LED. If that condition is not matching, then I should switch off LED. That's what I'm considering. Okay, we'll try to implement this one. Okay, again I'll consider new circuit. I'll just, okay, this one itself we can modify, right? I just need potentiometer. Okay, so the beauty of this particular website is you will also know what are the terminals. For example, to identify LED, practically when you are doing, you won't know which is anode, which is cathode. But you see here, when I place the point over here, automatically it says this is anode. Okay, so this is terminal 1. I want to connect this one with positive supply. And this one I want to connect with negative. It's like you can also make these wires in the form of straight line. As you can see, when I am at this position, a particular vertical line is showing, saying like whatever the connection you are making, that is in straight line. But if I bend slightly, that line is not coming. So basically we expect to have everything smooth and proper, right? So this particular website is also helping us to give our connections in a straight line. Okay, I can also drag this one. Okay, anyway, I gave that one, and this one basically I want to read what is the voltage we have from this particular potentiometer. So I am taking that particular line, and I can give to any one of the analog pin, because whatever we are generating, that is analog value. Okay, it need not be A naught. I can give it to any analog pin. Okay, let me try giving it to A naught. Okay, and also I can change color of these things. This is ground, so I'll make black. This is positive supply, I'll make it as red. Basically this is a good method of doing circuits, because you can easily identify which is positive terminal, which is negative terminal, etc. Okay, I just need to change the code, right? I'll go to code. Initially I'll make it as just blocks itself. I don't want to see what is the code which got generated. Let me remove this complete thing, because I want to come up with a new one. Basically you are reading something from A naught. So where I need to go? I need to go to this particular input block, click on input. You are going to have lot of options: read digital pin 0, read unlock pin A naught, read degrees of servo pin. Okay, like that we have. The thing which is suitable for us is read unlock pin A naught. I'll just click and I'll drag and drop over here. Okay, and what is the analog pin value I want to print. So I'll go to output, and I'll see if I have some command to print data. Print to serial monitor. Okay, I'll just print. I want to print the data, so I'm dragging this one. Here it says print to serial monitor hello world, but I want to print A naught value. For that, what you can do is you can just click on this and drag and drop over here. Okay, automatically it is updated. Okay, whatever the pin value you want to print, that you can print here. Okay, you can click properly. Okay, now it's fine. uh, Initially I just want to see how my potentiometer is working. I don't want to work with LED. Okay, so I'll just simulate, and I will see what happens. I'll close this code, start simulation. Okay, we need to see that value in serial monitor. At bottom you can see serial monitor is available. I am clicking this one, serial monitor. As you can see here, it is giving 1023. Basically these unlock pins, what they do is whatever the value they are reading, they will map automatically to uh, in the range of 0 to 1023. We are going to have ADC, analog to digital converters, over here. So whatever the analog value you have read, corresponding digital value will be given here. Okay, let me change and see what happens. Okay, I hope you are able to see. When I am at the initial position, it means like resistance 1 is 0 and resistance 2 equals to whatever the potentiometer value we have. Maybe if I consider part is of 1 kilo ohm, R2 will be equals to 1 kilo ohm. That's the reason we are getting 1023. But when I am changing this one, slightly it is decreasing, because your R2 value will be decreasing. That is the reason you can see decrement in these values. Okay, so maybe what I will do is, whenever this particular potentiometer value is uh, below 500, I will make this LED off. If it crosses 500, I want to make this LED on. Okay, so for that we'll stop this simulation, and basically we are talking about some controlling, right? I want to control LED, so I will go and check for some if condition. Okay, if if then else, basically I want to compare, so I will go and see for comparison operator. You can see we have some comparison operator here. Drag that one and place inside this. Okay, what I want to compare, I want to compare this particular analog pin value. So duplicate that and drop over here. Okay, it says if read analog pin A0 is less than, what is the condition we wanted to have? 500. If the value is less than 500, I want to make LED off. So for LED making off, we need to go for output. We connected LED to fourth pin, so just go and check set pin to high. This particular pin I want to make it low, fourth pin. Okay, again the same pin I'll duplicate. If that condition is not satisfied, that means if the value is greater than 500, I want to glow LED. It can be like I can consider some application. Instead of potentiometer, I have some temperature, or I have some any other touch sensor. If my condition satisfied, I need to make it high. Okay, that's what we are writing. The code is same. You can consider any of the sensor over there. This is the condition I am considering. Let me start simulating and see what happens. See, as of now, your sensor values are 0, so LED is low. Let me change this particular potentiometer value. It is 246, 307, but LED is off only. Slightly increase, 389, 409, no change. 471, 491, no change. 511, okay. You can see LED is glowing, right? Okay. So anywhere in this particular range, if I have, your LED will be glowing. Okay, so that's how you can work with this particular potentiometer. Okay, I also want you to see one more thing with LEDs. I just created some LEDs over here. You can take this one as some example, and you can work at home. I have this red, green and blue color LEDs. I am making it glow. You can see how what is the condition I am writing. This red colored one I have connected to 7th pin. So 7th pin initially making high. After 1 second I want to make it as low. Okay. Again 1 second it will wait. After that 4th pin it is making high. So 4th pin what I have? 4th pin I have this blue one. Okay. Sorry, green one. Uh, Again it will be high. Okay, like that I'm just trying to write some repetitive conditions. Maybe I'll try changing these to milliseconds so that you can see quickly. I don't, let me see if we will be able to see that. We- Okay, we are not able to recognize those things, right? Let me make these things as 100 milliseconds. Let me try. See, this is blinking, turning off after 100 seconds. Again, red has grown after 100 seconds off, then green one. So this kind of pattern, maybe you can come up with red color, green color, and yellow colored one, and maybe for a junction you can come up with traffic lights. Okay, like that you can create here. Uh, Code also we'll try to see what has been written. See, this complete code you can just copy and paste in your Arduino environment and upload, and it works fine. Okay, so because unless you dump into Arduino, you don't know how it works, right? But this Tinkercad is making you uh, all the availabilities, like without dumping into Arduino itself, you are able to see how your code is working. Okay, so that's about LEDs and potentiometer. You can just again respond in chat. Someone has some question, so tell. Okay, okay, okay. So basically, if I have 10-bit ADC, how will be calculating the resolution of that one? We are going to consider V divided by 2 power 10 minus 1. Okay, so this will give me like uh, each and every bit of this 10-bit ADC, how what is the resolution we have. For example, if I consider 10-bit ADC, you are going to have total 1024 values. Okay, it's like you have values from 0 to 1023. You have values from 0 to 1023. That's how you are making it as 1024. Okay, how we are getting, how I can identify if for example, if my V, if input voltage equals to 5, I mean to say complete voltage range is 5. Okay, and what will be my ADC value for 2.5 volts, then how to calculate that one is, you need to do like 5 divided by 1023, because 2 power 10 minus 1 will give you 1023. Okay, this complete thing you multiply with 2.5, then you will get what is the corresponding ADC value for 2.5 volts. Let me uh, calculate in calculator and see how it comes. Basically, I have 5 into 2.5 divided by 1023. Okay. See, it's like what 2.5, how I can get is 2.5 is 5 into 512, basically 1024 values we have, so half of that will be 512. 1023. Okay, but for example, if I want to get this 2.5 value, what should be equivalent ADC value? How I will be doing is, 2.5 multiplied with 1023 divided by 5. This will give me approximately 512. For example, similarly, if I have 3 volts, what is the corresponding ADC value is, you need to consider 3 into 1023 by sorry, 3 into 1023 by 5, if you consider, you will get corresponding ADC value. Similarly, for any value 0 to 5, whatever you have, you can calculate by using this particular formulas. Okay, so if you know that the resolution is this one and total voltage is this one, you will come to know for each bit what is the resolution you are going to have, that is 5 divided by 1023. Okay, if you can write that condition, then easily for any value you can consider. You can replace 2.5 with 3, you will get what is the corresponding voltage. For example, if this voltage level is 5, 5 into 1023 by 5, in such case I will get ADC value 1023. If I have something like 0.5, okay, 0.5 also you can see, 0.5 by 5, approximately you will get ADC value 1 or 2. Like that you can just calculate this ADC values. Okay, uh, that's about potentiometer and how your ADC values you can calculate. Okay, next we shall see LDR. LDR stands for light dependent resistor. Basically, the resistance of this LDR will vary with respect to intensity of light which is falling on that. So symbol of LDR, you can have something like this. Okay, whenever some light is falling on that one, this resistance will decrease. In presence of darkness, the resistance of this one will be very very high. It will be approximately something like 1 mega ohm, something like that. When I consider some light is falling on this one, uh, then I can consider like it will have maybe in the range of few ohms, like 50 ohms, 10 ohms, 30 ohms, something like that. Okay, so it's something like I just want to work with this LDR and build some application. Can you think of any application like that with LDR? You can just respond if you can guess something. Anyone with LDR? What are the things we can do? No idea. Street lights. Okay, exactly. So it's like whenever outside environment, if we have light, maybe I can consider my street light is off. Whenever light is not there, in such case I can make street light on. For that application, maybe I can go with this LDR. Okay, again this is also like how we considered voltage divider circuit. You can consider this is also in the same manner. Like I have some resistance over here, I have some other resistance over here. If I have to calculate what is my output voltage, V output, you need to consider this particular equation. Okay, V out equals to, we are giving VCC multiplied with R2 by R2 plus R1. This output voltage will vary depending on your LDR resistance. For example, LDR resistance is very very high. In such case, this denominator will also be very very high. R2 will be same, but denominator resistance will be very very high. So output voltage will decrease. If I consider this R1 is very very less, then R2 plus R1 will be approximately equals to R2. In such case, I am going to have very high output. We will take this condition and try to come up with this circuit. So you can see here, I have some Arduino for which I am trying to connect LDR. LDR one pin I am connecting to positive terminal. The other pin we are connecting to resistor. Okay, same as like this. So this particular thing we are connecting to VCC of Arduino. The other pin we are connecting to a resistor. Okay, and the resistor is grounded. Okay, you can see the resistor is grounded. This point, like whatever the point I have here, it will give me V output value depending on the resistance value of LDR. So that particular point, okay, this is that one. Okay, this point I am taking and giving it to A0 pin, so that I will be able to check what is the voltage we are getting depending on the resistance of this LDR. Okay. If you remember earlier, we have considered a potentiometer, and by changing the potentiometer we made LED on and off. Here we will try to make this LDR, and depending on LDR value we will try to make on and off LED. Okay, that also will try to create fresh. So you can just respond. Can I just replace this potentiometer uh, with LDR circuit and keep as it is this LED, or you want me to build everything new? You can just respond. If you want me to uh, replace, you can just respond with yes, so that we will consume less time and we can see more experiments. Okay, I'll just remove this part potentiometer. Okay, because this LED part is common, I am trying to use the same. Let me check where we have that LED, LDR, sorry. Okay, you can see here it is written as photoresistor. As the name suggests, depending on input light, you are going to have variation. Okay, when I drop in any particular line, automatically this it's something like this LDR I am keeping in these two slots. Okay, you need to understand like that. Okay, I am keeping here this particular terminal. I need to make it to positive. Okay, and other terminal I'll use a resistor. Drag a resistor and keep it over here. Other end I need to ground it. Okay, I just have grounded. Let me see what is the value of this resistance. 1k. I hope that's fine. Okay, we'll go with 1k itself. uh, and the output, basically this complete line is interconnected, so I am taking that junction. And this time we'll do slight modification. Rather than going every time with a0, we'll go with a1. Okay, we'll go with a1. You can also go with a0. It's not an issue, but I want to show with a1 also. That's the reason I'm going with a1. This potentiometer also, what I will do is I'll try connecting it across LDR, across this junction. To remove that line, click on delete after selecting. Then you can just go and connect over here. Okay, now I can see like when light falls on this one, what is the voltage we are getting across this junction? When light is not there, what is the voltage? Like that I can check. Okay, let me see what is the code I have at present. uh, we are writing the code for A1. Okay, but LED part I don't want to do anything as of now. Let me just see what are the voltages we are getting for LDR. I'll just start simulating. Maybe you'll have some doubt like how I will make light fall on this particular LED. Okay, I'll show that one. uh, that is also another beauty of this particular Tinkercad. Okay, if you are doing simulation you won't be able to make some light easily fall on LDR, right? But in Tinkercad we have that flexibility. So click on this LDR. Okay, so you can see here I have a slider which shows like whether light is falling or we have darkness on LED. When I move towards this point, light is falling on LDR. When I move towards this particular point, light is not there on LDR. When I move to this particular position, it means like it is darkness. Okay, so during darkness, see what are the voltage levels we are getting here. 27.8, something like that. Okay, when I move to light, you are getting something like 3.24, 3.26, something like. Okay, we'll try to consider some intermediate stage. Okay, I have something like 2.65 intermediate stage. Okay, uh, it's like when I go to code, I cannot say 2 volts something like that, right? Because your computer doesn't understand what is that. So first I need to see what are the values which I am getting for this LDR. So I'll try changing this one to A1. A1, and let me see what are the voltages it's generating, corresponding ADC values. We will see in serial monitor. Right now when it is completely dark, okay, we are getting in serial monitor very less values. For example, 6. Okay, I am bringing to the middle. Okay, in the middle approximately I can say 526. Okay, 500, something like that. When I move completely towards light, I am getting values around 679, something like that. Okay, so let me choose a point in between. Okay, this is some 526, right? So I'll consider like if serial monitor value is greater than 500, that means environmental light is available. If it is below that one, environmental light is not available. Okay, so what is the condition I should write here? When below 500, I need to make this particular fourth pin high, right? Whenever outside light is not available, I need to make that one high. Whenever output light is available, I need to make low. Okay, let me simulate and check if it works like that. See, now we have some light because it is dark. uh, because it is dark, you are going to see light is available. I am slightly dragging. light is off. uh, Let me try changing the resistance value, because I think you are not able to see clearly whether it is on or off. Okay, I'll try reducing the resistance, and also we'll see serial monitor also. So serial monitor values are above 500, so LED should be off, that is off. I am decreasing the light below 500, and you can see light is there. Okay, anyway, some warning is there, it doesn't matter. Let me change to other colors and see if you will be able to see better. Okay, now it is off. Whenever I am again going back to darkness, it is increased, light is coming. Okay, so same thing, like you can implement the same circuit, and you can dump into your Arduino. Like that you can make some kind of a small test with this particular circuit using hardware also. LDRs will be available, maybe 1 or 2 rupees, not more than that one. LED will also be available for 1 or 2 rupees. Maybe in our department we also have Arduinos. You can just come and you can work with those things to get some idea about hardware of this thing. Let me see what is the code available for this one. I'll stop simulation, go to blocks and text. Okay, see here, we said like in setup mode you are going to have pin mode. I have A1. A1 is the pin to which I have connected for voltage divider circuit output, that we are considering as input. We want to monitor serial monitor, so this particular thing is coming. Fourth pin we are making output. Then inside loop we shall see what we are doing. First I need to read unlock pin value, that is A1 we are giving some input that we are trying to read. Okay, then we are checking if that particular value is less than 500. If it is less than 500, I need to write fourth pin as high, else I need to make that one as low, and we are giving some delay. Okay, delay 10 means 10 milliseconds. So we are not concentrating on writing part of this code, because uh, we are not teaching you how to write the code, but we are teaching how you can use Tinkercad to generate this particular code. So when you can generate this particular code, I don't think there is any necessary to learn how to write codes. Once you are familiar with Tinkercad and working with Arduino, then you can try writing your own codes in Arduino. That's what I feel. Okay, so you can just respond if it is clear. Any doubts you have? Okay, I'll go to the next one, that is temperature sensor. Okay, how to connect temperature sensor to Arduino. We'll try creating a new one. So, in general, we have a temperature sensor called as LM35, which we can use to monitor temperature of surrounding environment. But in this particular thing, we have something called as TMP, not LM, TMP. But it's one same. It is also same as LM35. So same LM35 will have three pins. The first pin we will connect to 5 volts. Second pin we will be connecting to A0, that is output of temperature sensor. Third pin we will be connecting to ground. The same way we will also follow here. Okay, we'll just create that circuit. I'll try dragging Arduino. Okay, I dragged Arduino. Then I need to search for temperature sensor. You can see here temperature sensor TMP36. Okay, so there is no need like every time you connect any sensor you need to bring breadboard into this particular Tinkercad. You can also make connections directly. Okay, this particular pin, power pin, we need to connect to 5 volts. Okay, I'm connecting to 5 volts. Then this pin I need to connect to ground. And the middle pin, that is V output, uh, we need to connect to any analog pin. The reason why we are connecting it to analog pin is, as you all know, temperature will be in analog form, not in digital form, right? So I'll try connecting it to, let us connect it to A3 this time. So I'm connecting to A3, and let's see whether we will be able to write some code for this one. So basically it is some input, right? Go to input, and you can see here again the advantage with Tinkercad is I have directly here read temperature sensor on pin A0. Okay, I am just removing this particular circuitry code. I'll drag this one, read temperature sensor pin, but we have connected this one on A3. Okay, I'll select A3, and I also want this one to be output in serial monitor. I'll drag that one also, print to serial monitor. We are reading on A3. Basically we have option for reading in degrees or in Fahrenheit. Okay, let me try dropping this one, make duplicate, duplicate, and drop it. Okay, similarly I also want this value to be printed in Fahrenheit. Okay, two things I need. I'll just change that one to Fahrenheit. We have an option here, print every time with new line or without new line. Okay, you can select anything. Okay, it's better have maybe without new line itself, with new line. Okay, let's simulate and see how it generates. Again, where we need to see, we need to go back to serial monitor and see. Okay, so whatever I have, okay, let me do something. If I have something like that, we will get confused. So let's try denoting which is centigrade and which is Fahrenheit. In between these two things, we'll try printing something. Okay, here instead of hello world, I can write here temperature in Fahrenheit. Okay, similarly, I can also duplicate and write. Just drag another one. Here I want to write as temperature in centigrade. Degrees Celsius. Okay. This will be more clear for us, which is Celsius and which is Fahrenheit. Now let me try simulating. Okay, temperature in centigrade, temperature in Fahrenheit. Okay, like that we are getting. For example, like as I said, you can also change temperature here. Just click on this one, this temperature module. You will get some indicator. Try changing the slide value, and you can see temperature now it is 107. Okay, I am rolling back. Okay, so continuously it's coming, right? For example, if I consider any application, or you want to see temperature of a human body or see temperature of a particular environment, it won't continuously vary, right? So I can have some controlling for that one. Wait for some amount of time before you measure next value. Okay, so wait 1 second before you again give next value, and I can simulate. See, it has given value and it's waiting. Now I'll change the value. After 1 second, we will see that change. Okay, temperature in centigrade 104, temperature in Fahrenheit 220. Okay, so like that for every 1 second you can see. So for example, like I want to slightly modify this one. Whenever temperature is greater than something, I want to have some kind of LED glowing. So for that again what I can do, bring an LED. Okay, drag a resistance. This one has to be grounded. Okay, and the other end I need to give to some digital pin to make it high or low. Uh, this time we shall select 13th pin. Okay, so when I give to 13th pin, on board also I have something, as you can see L, that is built-in LED. It will glow and this one also will glow. We will see that one. We need to write code for that. Uh, I'll just drag this circuit so that you will be able to see. And resistance also I need to change. I'll make 100 ohm. Code, what we need to make code. This time I don't want to write everything in Fahrenheit, centigrade, everything. I'll just remove that one. Just print the value, okay, in centigrade. That's enough for me. If again I need to go for if condition. If again the control condition, I need to check whether it is less than or greater than something. So what is that we are checking? We are checking temperature. Read temperature on A3 in centigrade. We are reading. If that particular thing is less than, maybe I'll consider. Let's see what centigrade we can write. Maybe some 37. Okay. If I want in Fahrenheit also, I can say like maybe Fahrenheit will consider, and we'll try to consider this value as 98.4. Okay. Then I want to do two things. One is print that someone has fever. Okay. If temperature is below, it's normal, no fever. Healthy I can write, healthy. Okay. And also I need to make LED low. Okay. For that I'll put again set built-in LED low. Okay. If my red temperature is below 98.4, I will make the person to be healthy, and also I'll write I'll make LED low. If temper Okay, I just need to have if then condition here. I'm just doing like earlier I just considered if condition, but I need to have if and then condition. Both I need to have. That's the reason I'm making this modification. This if thing we need to remove that. This is what we are supposed don't worry, I'll just repeat whatever I have done. Okay. I was just monitoring like earlier I wrote I took this condition if then that works only if I have only if condition and I don't have else part, but I also have else part. So I took this particular module instead of that one. Okay. Else what I have to do, if temperature is greater than 98.4 Fahrenheit, unhealthy I need to print. I need to make LED high. Okay. This is the code. Let's see how it works. In serial monitor we need to see, right? Healthy. Okay. It's continuously doing that one. Let me try changing the temperature. See here, temperature is 65.93, unhealthy, and LED is glowing. Okay, when I make it down, it's not glowing. Okay, so can I think of any application for this circuit at present? You can just respond. Whatever the current situation we have, for that can I have use of this particular circuit? You can just respond in chat. Only one person has responded AC, but that's not the answer what I am looking for. Any other person? Whatever the circuit I have built, we have very much important application at present. Yes, yes, yes. Someone says thermal screening. Yeah. See, if you have observed news, daily thermal screening is being done, right? I can have an LED to show someone's temperature is greater, or maybe I can have some alarm. Uh, Keep this temperature monitoring device at the entrance of educational institutes, or maybe something like maybe you can consider shops, etc. If someone temperature is greater than that, immediately it gives buzzer. Okay, so that is one of the useful thing which we need at present. Okay, so that's all like for today's session. If you see, we have considered so far tinkercad introduction, LED description, Arduino setting up, LED with tinkercad, potentiometer and LED, LDR, temperature monitoring. We have left out with PWM. Okay, so now maybe you can come up with any questions. If you have, you can just unmute and you can come with questions. Don't have any questions? So for the same thing, for the same circuit, we can also have other applications. Okay, so instead of temperature sensor, I can have moisture sensor here to measure whether a particular soil has enough moisture level or not. I can indicate with LED, or maybe I can switch on some motor, or if temperature is more, as someone said AC, we can switch on AC or fan. Okay, instead of an LED. Like that, you can just take analogy of this particular circuit to any other application. Okay, so if you have any questions, we will see those things. Else, maybe we have 7 more minutes. Maybe I can show some of other circuits which I got. So when I click Arduino, like I'm not doing anything new, I'm taking already available things only. I'll just delete this complete circuit. I'll just drag this tone keyboard and see what it does. So there is nothing big thing about this particular circuit. Okay, I'll just try explaining what they have considered. You can see 5 volts and ground they have given. They have connected some resistances over here. These are push buttons to make on and off. They have considered a buzzer. From push button, basically they are giving either 1 or 0 to A0, A1 and A2. Sorry, A0, A1, A2. And depending on the push button value, they are trying to give to this particular buzzer the corresponding value. Okay, we'll directly start simulate and we'll see what happens. I don't know whether you will be able to hear the music or not. If you are hearing, you can just tell yes. You're able to hear any music tone? Are you getting any tone? No? Okay, let me try removing my headset. What about now? Yeah. Let me try pressing another switch. See another tone we are generating. Okay. So if I give some time gap between these things and try pressing, you can recognize what is the sound it's making. It's like it's trying to make something like sa, re, ga, something like that. Like that, you can create a keyboard using this Arduino and push buttons and a buzzer. Okay. So that's all. If you have any doubts, you can just give in chat. So shall we close the session? Or anyone wants to speak? I can see only 43 students are available. What about the remaining people? Hope you are aware that Webex completely tracks your details. Like, I mean, when you are logging in, when you are logging up. Okay. Okay, we are closing the session. Again, we'll meet tomorrow at same time, 10:30 a.m. Okay. Meanwhile, if you are interested, you can just work out with Tinkercad and come up with any problems if you have. We'll try to address tomorrow.